Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to compile this collage. Now in the previous video, the one just before this one, I was showing you how to make a background transparent. And when I first thought of that video, I thought, how is this going to be useful? But then I thought that yes, if you're going to make a collage, then making a background is going to be very useful for making this sort of an image up. So let's just have a look. So this is the final image. So I've actually got three separate images here. Now what we've got is we've got the background, which is that one of my textured images, and then we've got the three cutouts. So if you look at my previous video, you will see, I think it was probably that one I cut out. It could have been that one. I think it was that one I cut out. So all you're going to do is use the same technique as I explained in the previous video and just cut out all three, okay, which is going to make this collage up. So what we'll do is we'll go to the background. All right, so we're going to leave it at A4 and we're going to leave it at landscape. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the move tool and we're going to bring this image across to our background like so. Now it is rather large, so we're just going to resize it a little bit. And as I say, this is where the transparent background really comes in handy, because you can put as many images as you like on the background. So let's move it around. I think this one was on the right, so just move it around and you can use the handles here to position it. So we'll leave it at that at the moment. Now I'm going to fetch the second one, do the same thing, move tool, bring it across over to the background, keep the mouse button down and then release it. Again, we're going to reposition, resize this. So just use the grab handles. Till it's a reasonable size. Turn it a little bit. Okay, and we'll sort that out in a bit. Then we'll get the third one. Same again. Move tool over to your background. Here we go. So to resize that, for some reason it's gone absolutely massive. So because they're all on the separate layers, you can move them all around. So you just click your layer, click this one, resize this one, and just bring it into position. So you can see now how these transparent images are going to be really handy, and you can apply it to anything, not just your flowers. Any image, you know, it can be a person, it can be an animal, whatever. But this, I was thinking for ages, how would this really come in handy? And this is how it would be. Now, just wondering how I position these. So we'll go back to the original. Okay, so I had that slightly on the cross, didn't I? It was something like that. Okay, let's go to this one now. I did touch up the stemming on this one. Now, depending on where you want the flower, depends on where you actually put your layer. Now, I want this flower, this one here, in front of that one, I think. Let's just check. So I'll reposition this one. We'll go to this one. I'm going to put this, I'm going to drag this and put it over the top. So I think it looks more natural that way. I think that's about it. Let's just have a look. So click on this one, whichever one you want to move, just click on the layer. Might make this a little bit bigger. Position it a little bit. Let's just have a look at the original. Yes, it's not far off. Not far off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to tackle each flower at a time. So let's have a look at the one, this one on the left. So what we need to do is we need to put a mask on. So we've already got a mask on here. Okay, so we'll use our black, and then we'll use brush. I'm going to do it at 25%. She's going to take it out a lot slower, but I prefer it to look more natural this way than doing it going in at 100%. So I'm just going to go around the edges of the flower, and because it's on its own layer, it won't affect this one here. So whatever you do to this one, you're just affecting this layer. So I'm just going to go around, all the way around, and just make it a little bit softer. Okay, so that's that one. Now we'll go to the one on the right. We're going to soften this. Don't forget we've got to put a mask on. So put the mask on. We're on the black. Got the brush, 25%. So we're going to blur this one out of it. And as I say, if you just do it, you can probably do it lower if you want to. But 25% is probably about right. In fact, if I put 15% on the, when I'm blurring the edges out, it's a far softer, but you just need to keep going over it, that's all. So you could go over it again for argument's sake. Just makes it look more natural against the background. Now, I don't know whether you've noticed I've actually brought the stem in because I wasn't sure whether I wanted the stem on this middle flower. And I don't really like it, so let's go to the middle one. And I'm going to gradually make sure I keep forgetting the mask. Put a mask on. That brush. Yeah. I'll probably do this at 25%. Just want to completely get rid of that stem. And all it's going to do is it's going to get rid of the stem. It's not touching this here because it's a separate layer. So I'll just keep going until it's gone. But if I move the flower, on the mask, black, brush, keep going until it's gone. I could do it at 100%, but I just like to do a bit at a time, and there you can see it's completely gone. So I'm going to move the flower back again now. Put it back behind that one, and I think that looks quite natural. I think I might touch this up here now. So let's go back on the mask. Black brush. And we're going to go back to 15%. Okay, so go all the way around. Now, if you think you've overdone it, and I think I have, in one little bit here, just do this. See, because it's on another layer, I'm not affecting this bud here. So I'm going all the way around. I think I've done too much there. So what I'm going to do is go to the white. I'm going to put some of it back in again. So can you see? It's come back in again. Go back to black. It's just me being a bit picky. I think the flower needs to move it a bit more. Yeah, I think that's about right. What I did was with this one, I actually put an oil paint filter on. And I think that looks quite nice. What we'll do is we'll go to the text. I think it was Zapfino. And what I did was I took a colour out of one of the flowers. So let's take the eyedropper and let's, no, not that one. What layer am I on? Let's go on this layer. You've got to make sure whatever colour you want. If you wanted to say the green, you'd have to make sure you're on a layer that's got the green leaves in. But I just want a colour of the flower, so I'm going to be on the centre one, because whatever layer you choose is where you're going to be sampling from. So yeah, we'll try that. So then we go to text. We type Lenten roses. Make it bigger. Not sure whether it was put here. 48. That's been a bit smaller, I think. So let's select the text again. 56. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, Lenten roses, that's it. So that's that. Let's move it a little bit. So now we're going to apply some oil paint, which is what I did in this original one. And what you're going to have to do is apply the oil paint to each separate image. So if we go to this one, which is the middle flower, what you can do is you can actually make a copy of your layer, and then you can call that oil paint. So we'll go up to, make sure you're on that layer, go up to filter, stylize, oil paint. Now with this one, did about 5. So let's type 5 in. Because I didn't want to overdo that. Oil paint is nice, but you know, if you overdo it, I like it to look reasonably subtle. So then we'll go to the next one. Make a copy of that. So go down to your plus. Rename it oil paint. And let's go up to filter, stylize, oil paint. And that's on 5, 5, 5. Scale 0.1, bristle 0.0. Yeah, say okay to that. Let's do this one. So we'll do another layer. Call that oil paint. And go up to filter, down to oil paint. And again, leave the settings 5 and 5. You can put them up to 10, but I think it's a bit too much. So I'll do it 5 and 5. You can do it lower if you want to, if you want an even more, if you want a more subtle effect. So I think that's quite nice. But this is the great thing about these having transparent images. You can literally, you know, put a few images together on one file. And as I say, you can either just apply the oil paint on the layer, or you can make a completely separate layer, because you can always turn it off. So you could turn that one off, turn that one off, and you could turn that one off and not have them on at all. And the only thing about having lots of layers is it makes your file bigger. So it'll take longer to save it, and it'll also take up more room on your hard drive. I save mine to a separate drive. I don't keep them on the computer. But it's entirely up to you whether you want to make another layer. Great thing about it is you can save it with all those layers as a Photoshop file. And then when you want to share it, all you do is go to your image, go to layer, flatten your image. That flattens it right down, brings the file size down, and then you can save it as a JPEG. I normally go up to image size, keep it at 300, and then just change these figures to 1024 for sharing on the social media. Yeah. Also, what I did on this original, I went up and decided to put a stroke round. What you have to do is you have to unlock the background to make it a layer, go up to stroke, and I've already got a dark red selected, so go to stroke. Let's have a look at 1 pixel. You can hardly see that, so go back up to stroke, say do 5 pixels. That gives you a nice little border around the edge. You can see there. Yeah, nice little border. So I hope that's been helpful. If there's any questions you want to ask me, please leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe. So I'll see you in the next one. Okay, take care.